Do you need permission to call yourself a creative, or do you earn that title by simply creating? Today's episode is all about school versus no school, design school, art school, formal training versus not formal training. So we're going to dive in because we both have our own unique experiences and we have a little bit of something to offer on both ends. And then another little tidbit of information is I am sticking around. So if you missed our announcement on socials, I will be partnering with Megan on the podcast moving forward, and it's going to be awesome. So we've shifted and pivoted a little bit, but it's all going to be amazing. And what do you call it? Creatives, healers, makers.
Creatives, healers, makers, helpers.
Yes.
You know, the people who are our people.
Yeah, our community.
Our community. Those that are out there just living life and creating and helping the world be a better place in some way, shape, or form. So, so I'm so excited that we're doing this together, by the way. Before we dive into the topipic, I'm just like, let's do this. Let's bring so much light to Magic Made and just let this place be a place of inspiration
and support and just little tidbits of education and things that we wish we knew when we were just starting out, things that we're still learning. And I feel like, honestly, even if you're not a creative, you can take something away
100%
from what we have to talk about. But anyways, we're going to start by sharing our stories. Do you want to start?
Yeah.
What's your schooling story?
Oh, gosh.
Or training or learning, or where did it all come from?
Yeah. Great question. So I always say that there's kind of a bit of a roller coaster in my life and in my training and school and all of that. And so for myself, when I started to get to that age where people start having you kind of on the hamster wheel of what are you doing? What do you think you want to do? Where do you want to go with life? All the things. Like, also, can we just stop for a second and think about how insane that is to ask like a 16, 17, 18-year-old that question?
Right.
I mean, we're midlife and it's still like, where am I going with life?
We are not midlife, by the way. Don't say that
ever
again. Don't say that ever again.
we are not midlife. I don't know what we are, but whatever we are.
Back in the 80s, we were midlife, but no, we're just getting started.
We're not golden girling it up right now.
I'm going to edit that out,
Okay, but all that to say is, like, it's such a big undertaking to think about where you're going at any age, but especially in high school. And so for me, I knew deep down I wanted to do something creative, but I didn't know what was going to be acceptable, what I could really do, what was really tangible. And I ended up choosing to go to JJC, Joliet Junior College, for people who aren't local, for an interior design. And that was like my bucking of the system at the time, which seems like insane because it's not like it's like some like off the, edge of the universe thing. But I was like, oh, it's like edgy and different enough. So I went that route, got my associates, and realized after it that I love it. And I still to this day use it, which will come into conversation when I get to where I'm at now. But it was like, I don't really want to be like a licensed interior designer. And then my brain was like, well, maybe I want to do set design. So I knew that I wanted to get a bachelor's degree, but I didn't know how to segue out of this highly contained thing.
Yeah.
And so I transferred and went into set design originally. So working on stage sets and Broadway and things like that were
and with your dance background, that was perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then guess what happened? Guess what happened? I do a semester of that and I start going, uh-oh. I've put myself, now I have an interior design degree. I'm about to get a set design degree. What am I actually doing with this? Where will I actually go with this? What if this doesn't work out? And I started panicking. And I have an inkling that most of us out there listening are probably you've had a panic moment in your journey where you're like, oh no, rewind. I don't know what, And so I quickly pivoted and changed into doing human development and family services because I thought it would make me more marketable, more
Yeah.
widespread, right? More acceptable, right?
Mhm.
Because you can go into preschool teaching, which clearly
Yeah.
is, spoiler alert, is the direction I
Where
went
we met.
in. It's where we met. Um, and so I did that. Like I listened to like everything around me that was like making me feel scared and just a little bit like unsure and went that
Mhm.
route. Do I regret it? Not at all, because it's taken me where like what
Yeah.
if I would never have done that? What if I would never have met you?
Right.
Because I would never have stepped foot and taught
So you ended up getting your bachelor's degree in
human development and
human
family
development.
services.
Okay, got it.
Yes. So
From ISU, right?
from ISU, Illinois State, go Redbirds, baby. But yeah, and so it's like I started out trying to kind of like flourish into the creative version of myself, which is
Mhm.
always there and never has left. Kind of buckled in and went, oh my gosh, no, okay, maybe I should be a little bit more what society, what my family, what all the things would probably accept more of, and then did that. What did it teach me? A lot. The
Mm.
psychology that I love.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, um, Psych 101 and
And that's
this and that.
fascinating stuff too.
Fascinating.
Mhm.
And again, I still use it to this day in what I do.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was just like because I thought I should. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
I firmly believe, and if anybody's out there in a season that maybe you are in a like either you're feeling like you're backpedaling or you're looking at an old backpedal and like mad about it, like maybe you're still holding some like anger about shifting gears for one reason or another.
Mhm.
I remind myself that I get to cherry pick what I want from each season of my life.
Yeah.
So like when I look at those times where like I did a pivot, which did end up flourishing into something beautiful, but also had hard feelings around it, I'm still like, no, but I cherry picked that I loved that I got all that knowledge in the psychology side of things,
Mhm.
that I met cool people. Like, right, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, and
like
you're probably using some of that stuff you don't even know it
100%.
in business today, right?
Yes,
Yeah. And working
absolutely.
with people, talking to people,
Yes.
figuring out who to work with and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's come in handy. And so I
Awesome.
don't regret it at all.
Nice.
But from the other side of things, just to like wrap up my kind of side of the story, the other side of things is I've done a lot of things not formally too.
Mhm.
Like my photography, people will
Right.
always
Yeah,
ask me,
photography, where did that come
yeah,
from?
surprise, right?
Right.
Like it's just like a little like sidebar in the
Mhm.
beginning, but then it has literally become my whole entire
Right.
career at this point.
And
It
where
came
did that come from?
teaching preschool. Because
Really?
remember when we had our little cameras in the classroom?
Yeah.
So we co-taught at the school that we taught at, and there was 2 to 3 teachers in any classroom, depending on the class size, and we had cameras,
Yeah.
and so we had these take-home journals for kids or for us to send home to the kids' parents each week, so they could get like a snippet of what the
I
week was
love
like.
that.
Wasn't it so good?
Yeah.
It was so good.
And then when I became a mom, I started doing that for my daughter and like printing pictures and yeah,
Yeah,
it
because
was
it's
so
just like these
cool.
little moments. And I found myself always having the camera like in my pocket
Yeah.
just in case a moment came up because we had whatever 15, 20 kids in the toddler age room and the preschool room and
Mm.
you had to get pictures through all the week. So I was like
Yeah.
finding myself like really enjoying like getting them in the moment or like laughing or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like randomly like I had no prior like thought, oh, I want to do photography. Like none of that was a real
Hmm.
thought in my head. And then I just like found myself doing it. And then people would say, do you do this? Because I kind of can tell like when you take a photo because it's like
Yeah.
more composed differently. I'm like, no, I don't.
Hmm.
And so long story short, I started kind of developing a love for it and got a camera at home, started playing with it, and had no formal training. Literally had no formal training.
No YouTube University.
Not really at that time because it was like YouTube was a
Yeah,
thing,
that's
I believe,
true.
but it wasn't what it is now.
Right.
Because that was like 09-ish, I think. If I don't know, don't quote me on that, but somewhere
Yeah.
around there. So we're going on,
Mhm.
well over a decade ago. So, yeah,
Mm.
I just started picking up things. I started seeing what made me feel good and just doing it. And then eventually I was like, I think I want to do this more in a more robust way.
Mhm.
And so for me, I have both sides. I have formal training that I use but don't use, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I have informal training. And I think all of us in this walking this planet, like we get to like enjoy whatever side it is that we pull from in life, you know?
Right.
Especially as creatives.
So when you meet other photographers, do you have you ever met another photographer who leads with ego? We all know some creatives have
Yeah.
like the biggest egos in the world, especially graphic designers. But have like do they? Sorry, I can't talk. Do they ever lead with like, oh well, I was trained at this hoity-toity photography university. I don't even know if there is one or what.
You can go to school for photography, yes. Am I really that versed in like all the best things and places and schools in it? No, because I really was like, it's not my journey and it wasn't my story, so I never really looked into
Yeah.
that much. I do know formally trained photographers. One that I know and love, she's not like that. Thank goodness. She's just like, you know, who
Yeah.
cares? Like, we've worked together, in fact, and like, it's not like a point of contention. However, there are some that I don't know them as well, but you can tell that is the air of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I know all the bells and whistles and I
Right.
know all this and that. When it is art at the end of the day, and you can understand how a camera works, 100%. Should you understand how a camera works?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
You
Right.
should. If you're doing it at least at a professional level
Yeah.
and like it's like part of your income and people pay you for it, you
Right.
should have some sort of knowledge of like what to do with it. However, then style and all these other things come in.
Yeah.
And that can't be taught in school.
That's true.
Your eye, your point of view.
Like being your authentic self and sticking to what you resonate with the most.
Exactly. And so for those people walking around in any, not just in photography, but in any industry that like are walking around thinking they're better off because they've got the X, Y's, and Z's checked off.
Right.
It's like, are you leading with heart? Are you there for the right reasons?
Yeah.
Are you, you know what I mean? Like, what is your real purpose in the thing that you bring to the world? I suppose. Right. And so that's why I love this conversation, because we can talk about like all the different sides. Like technicality aside, it's really what we bring to the table from like the kind of nitty gritty experiences that we've had, you know?
Yeah. And I think college, the view of college now is very different than when we were stepping into the college years.
100%.
And I don't know what the difference is truly 100% because I'm not in that space or season anymore. But I think it is definitely different. I'm seeing a lot of artists emerge just from like a way to cope with life happenings, you know, and they just find this new skill and they're like, holy shit, like I didn't know I had this in me, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting to hear, and it's interesting to hear everyone's background and where they kind of came from at this point in life.
Yeah.
I know it's different for those that are just graduating college or just stepping into it or even in high school. My daughter has a friend. My daughter's 10. My daughter has a friend, and she already knows what college she's going to. She already knows what she's going to be. And she asks me all the time what college, my daughter's going to. And I said, she's 10, sweetie. I don't know. I don't know what college she's going to. I don't know if she's even going to college. I don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think every family looks at it different. Every person looks at it different. And then I think every career requires something different. So in the creative world, it's just interesting to hear everyone's story when speaking of formal training or where did you learn that? Where did you pick that up? And just, sharing tips and tricks. It's interesting to hear where everyone came from. So
yeah, I love a story.
I know.
I love hearing what people have collected along the way.
Yeah.
Like these little gems of information, inspiration, people. Like we've collected each other along the way, right? And that's like part of our journey. And like training, no training, all that, like all these little things like just swirl around us and like create the story in which we're in. And so I think it's a beautiful thing because for like, let's dive into your side of the story, like where you've come from, because I think that's the beauty of it is that we have such eclectic experiences, like every human. But yeah, in society, we want to like compare and contrast, Like literally, that's not even a thing. Like, why is that a real thing in the world, especially in the creative world, when when as creatives, we want things to be eclectic and like
Different.
ooey gooey and different, but yet we're also like, well, do you have this behind you?
What's the trend?
It's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
why is that so
Yeah.
not make any sense to me?
Right.
Anyways, so let's dive into where you come from.
Yeah, so I initially, well, I'll backtrack. My dad was very hell-bent on, I'm going to college. You have to go to college. You have to get a degree in order to make a life for yourself and be successful. He is a person that knew what career he was going in at a very young age. So he is like kind of one of the like 1% of people who like know at in elementary school what
At
they
10?
want to be.
At 10?
No, for real.
Right? So
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, I suppose.
Yeah. So my dad went into law enforcement. So of course you have to, formal training for that. Police officer, and then went into the FBI. And so that takes a lot of strict training and knowledge of laws and all of that. So that makes sense. And here's me, the artsy fartsy daughter who is just, kind of all over the place. And, telling people I wanted to be an artist, it was like, yeah, okay. Like a starving artist,
Sure.
like tell me what you really want to do. And so I like collected all the courage to like announce to my parents that I want to go to beauty school and I want to do hair. And because I did all my friends' hair in high school and I loved it. Like it was just like fun to me. My aunt was a hairstylist, so I'm like, I could do this. Like, so I let my dad know, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And he said, all right, we'll start packing your bags. You're going to pay for this yourself. You have to move out. You have to support yourself. But if you want to go to college, then you could stay home and I'll pay for it.
I just got chills. I don't feel like I knew that part of your story somehow. Or maybe I didn't. Just like, I didn't like it. So I just threw it away.
So I was like, shit. Like, I'm like too afraid to move out.
Yeah,
like I was not ready. Yeah. Like my one friend who had moved out, she was like dancing in a club. I'm like, I don't want that life.
Yeah. Like, that's just not for me. It's not for me.
So I had like that. I was like, no, I don't want to like dance for my income. Anyways, so I was like, shit, okay, fine. I guess I'll go to the junior college and figure it out. So I enrolled. I went to junior college for fine arts and absolutely still had that like burning desire to be a creative, and painting like just was my medium. But like, what career are you gonna step into as a painter besides like painting houses and walls? Like one
and trim.
color.
Ew.
And trim, yeah. Like with
no
a
offense,
roller.
but that's just not what your role in this life is anyway.
Right. So I graduated junior college, and me and my dad bopped around to different universities. I really wanted to go to the Chicago Art Institute for interior design, actually, is what I went in looking at, because that seemed to me a lucrative, very, I could make that a successful career and make money and do all the things. Was it something that I was like skilled in or like had any knowledge in? Absolutely not.
Well, especially at that time, do you remember like how big HGTV was? Like at our time frame in that like high school age?
Everyone wanted to do that.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Which is like no surprise that like it was kind of intriguing to both of us.
Right.
In a way. Because we're creatives and we're like, well, I've seen it happen. I've seen success. It's on HGTV. People are doing it,
Yeah.
So.
So we went to visit the school and I loved it. But the energy there was just kind of ego-y in a way. And I didn't feel good enough, honestly, in order to even try to live up to the standards that I thought they were holding there. And I think it was a blessing in disguise because interior design is definitely not my strong suit. And so we bopped around to some other universities, and then the holy grail of universities came to town. My dad's alum And he took me to whatever they college fair or whatever
Oh,
they
yeah.
have. You know, when a college would come to like a hotel and you like go
Yeah.
talk to people.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
Interesting concept, but
I don't
mean,
know
makes
what that
sense,
was
I
called.
guess.
Yeah, super weird. Now that I'm looking back, but I went there and talked to a bunch of people, and I was like, I'm not going here. My dad went here. That's fine. That's
Yeah,
great,
you're like,
but like this is
dude.
not for me. And so I bopped around. Of course, I found the art table and like the art design school, and it was newer at the time, and they had a brand new focus, and it was called communication design.
Mm.
And I swear it was like the sun was just like beaming down because I was there. It was a brand new major at the time, brand new.
Wild.
So I'd be one of the first graduates from this art school. Um, and it covered all mediums and with a primary focus in like marketing, advertising, and how we can bring all these mediums together in order to communicate something to the mass, I don't know, people, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap, like this is made for me. Like
Yeah.
all different media, like I get to play around with all different mediums and I get to like focus all of my abilities and talents into creating. And I live like far away from my parents. Like, all right, sign me up. And I signed up that day. I was like, done deal. Like I'm in it. And I will tell you, like, you know, scared as shit going down there. I've never moved away from my
Yeah, because like it was
parents.
five-ish hours, yeah.
Yeah, 6 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless I was driving, then it was a little shorter. Anyways, that's another story. But
Same.
moved down there and I can't tell you enough. Like design school was absolutely amazing. And I would go back to it if I could. Like I
Right?
would
You're
literally
like, let's
sign
go.
myself up and do it again and again and again 1,000 times over. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The professors that they had down there were like lifers, like creative lifers, if that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ranging from anywhere from sculpture artists to graphic designers who have worked their ways up in like billion-dollar companies. And like I got to learn from all these people. And then I got to do everything. Like I could go to the screen printing building and play around with screen printing, which I
That's so
miss
cool.
so much.
Yeah.
And then I could sit in life drawing class and stare at a naked guy
Right.
and draw some
Butt cheeks.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say, butt cheeks. But like it was just amazing. Like, you know, sitting and painting and learning, dabbling in oil paints, dabbling in
Yeah.
acrylics, dabbling, you know, with different like fluid mediums and even sculpture. Like
Oh, so
it
good.
was just like
I want to go back.
I know. The only one thing I didn't dabble in is photography, and that was offered, but I was like, yeah, I don't. I did some
Wasn't feeling
projects.
connected to it.
Yeah. But like I fell in love with typography, and you know the history of that, where it came from, the design of it, the creativity of it all.
Yes.
Um, and I would have not trade it for anything. But stepping out and graduating, you know, I want to work in advertising. This is what I'm set up for. And everyone I met in that corporate environment who was a graphic designer, like gave me the ick. And the egos were just like astronomically large in that arena
Yeah.
that I was like, I can't fucking play with these people. Like
Yeah.
I can't live up to this. Like I'm just starting out. Like these people already are acting like they have 20 years behind them.
Right. Right.
And so I kind of like shifted and moved. And I loved graphic design and I loved my fine arts too. And then trying to marry the two, I think is where I had a little bit of growing pains at first. I ended up going back to school to get my art education degree because thought I wanted to teach kids, which I absolutely love teaching kids. And that just never came to fruition. And I had, people asking me here and there, and then it just kind of like picked up.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's
The rest is history.
my story. Yeah.
I feel like you've had such like in one regard, it was kind of like linear. Like it feels like it was linear, right? Because it's like you like made a choice, you went through the thing, you like
Right.
did all the thing. But like then also there's like all these little like caveats and crevices and nooks and crannies and
Yeah.
and it's just like it's so cool to see then like where you are now, right?
Right.
Like from all of that.
And I was thinking, actually, like prepping for this episode, I was thinking how cool it was because when I think back, it just like makes me so happy to think about design school, art school, and just like all the friendships I made, and like it was a community, and that's what I loved so much.
Yes.
Like I was always around creatives, and that was like such a cool thing. Like, yeah, you're not gonna vibe with everyone, but for the majority of everything, like I love, like when we'd have like open conversations and critiques of each other's artwork.
Yeah.
Like that was everything to me. And like I miss that so much. And then so prepping for this episode, I was like, I'm like, what kind of like a full circle moment, like trying to cultivate that community with this.
Yeah.
And like just feeling how that feels like back then when I was just kind of like a new little baby artist.
baby Chrissy artist.
Yeah. And then, and just like having that community and like that was kind of like the underlying pull for me.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still craving it.
Well, I feel like too, it's like when you have something that you really enjoy, like you said, you kind of identified like the community and the feedback.
Yeah.
Because feedback is not easy for people.
No.
Right? Like it can be hard. Any of us can have a moment with it.
Like constructive
Some people
criticism.
have a harder time with it, right? But I feel like that's a beautiful thing that you brought up because in journeys, no matter what yours looks like if we can get more open to those types of things, right? Like the feedback of like the world around us and like having good community that you feel good about, like saying, hey, yes, no, maybe so, like about
that are
something.
gonna like lift you up, build you up, and then add to your creative whatever.
Not
like
tear you down.
And not be like, oh, you got a chance with that client, and then they're behind your back applying for, whatever job that you were
they're like, let me take that from you.
Yeah. So like the creative world is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. And that's why we are so excited about like creating this space, like because we want more, we crave more. We know there's people out there that want to be able to like be through the journey with us, alongside all of each other.
The people that I've met who haven't had formal training and no like college experience whatsoever, singers, photographers, painters, all from every angle. Like I have never in my years thought to like compare. Like that's never just been a thing. I've never led with, hey, I have a degree from blah blah blah.
It's like afterthought in my brain,
right?
For a lot of stuff,
like just lead with like being a good person. Try that, maybe. I don't know.
Well, also just to kind of like wrap this thought up for the episode, but don't you feel like because of that sentiment, there's a lot of people sitting on talents and gifts that aren't doing anything with them because they're like, well, it's too late for me to go back to school, so I can't do this. Or, well, everybody else knows better, does better, has better training or whatever, knowledge. And then we're like missing out on like the next amazing artist in the world because they're just like, nah, like you can be a self-starter.
Right.
If you take nothing away from this, right? Like formal training, no formal training, we've picked up things that from all sides of our journeys. But I think my favorite are the ones that I've just like grittily, I don't know if that's a word. We're going to make it a word today.
It is now.
grittily like figured out how to make happen. Like those are like the most beautiful, bountiful parts of us when we allow to be like, you know what? I don't know what this is going to look like, but what the hell? I'm just going to trust it.
Yeah.
Get something flowing and just put it out there. because we can't let everybody's stories and things just like take over our own.
Yeah.
You know.
And I wanted to end with this awesome quote.
Ooh.
And it kind of like dabbles into a little bit of my yogi side.
Love.
But it says, creativity isn't a credential, it's a practice. And I just love that so much because it's like what we just said. Like it isn't something hanging on your wall. It's a continual practice and process. And just like if you're so open to learning, like, I mean, life is like the opportunities are endless and like just life gets way more exciting.
It does. Ooh. Yeah. I love that little like I love that quote. Can you say it one more time?
Creativity isn't a credential, it is a practice.
I love that. Let's all sit with that for a second as we wrap up this moment in time because it's just a really good reminder.
Yeah.
That like just keep on doing the thing.
Right.
Show up.
And just be yourself and create and just that's it.
We need more creators in this world just doing something that they love. I don't care if it looks like a 2-year-old did it. If it's something that you're excited about, just start there and do it and move and move and move and move into whatever it flourishes into. Like, yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
I love it. All right, beautiful people out there.
Yes.
Send us what you're working on.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the thing we need to implement around here.
Yeah, I'd love to see what people are working. Or like we could even figure out how to do like a group critique or of some sort or like you know.
Yeah. Send us what you're working on. Whether it's something in the garden that you're proud of. It doesn't have to be like, paint on a board, but maybe it is also. I want to see that piece.
Yeah.
So just like a project you're excited about, you're working on, you're feeling lit up by, send us a picture or something. Tag us in a story or a post. We want to see it. And don't forget to look for magic around the way, in the way of your own creation. Or, in my world, it's a little sunbeam or something that just makes you feel good and happy. And we'll see you next time.